Hello, my friend. It's a lunatic journey time. I'm going to take you on a little ride into what is happening in crypto at the moment. Is it a good time to get in? Is it time to panic? Is the moon influencing the market in very strange ways indeed, which it could well be? It is a bit of mild entertainment for you, my friends, a lighter hearted look at the crypto market. And that's what we'll do today. Because there's certain things that you need to be aware of. Now, this is by no means a comprehensive view of what's going on. You are not going to see reams of charts telling you about this and that and previous cycles and different setups. We're going to use a little bit of AI, a little bit of ETF flow information for you, and we are going to keep it light. We're going to keep it light, and you can make your own decision at the end of it. And like anything that I say, don't. This is not investment advice. This is just a random lunatic perusing the crypto market and commenting on it. So, with that in mind, my friends, join me on a little journey into where crypto's at the moment. Now, look, for the first time in ages, we're off the absolute basement on the fear and greed index. We're at 40. We're neutral at the moment, which is a breath of fresh air for all of you that have been seeing that we've been in extreme fear lately. So I've asked this to set up the top 500 cryptos. And let's look at what's happened. So over the last 7 days, you can see Bitcoin has gone up almost 1%. So who's faring well and who isn't? Let's click this and see what's happening. Now you can see here that there's certain big cryptos that are doing very, very well at the moment. Now this is a big indication of an alt season. When we see lots of cryptos outperforming Bitcoin, which we're clearly seeing here, the indication is that we may be moving into an alt season. Now, I don't want to get anybody's hopium up. I'm just here to present the facts. These are the facts, my friends. You see a lot of cryptos. These are the top 500. And look, we're down to 50 and there's no sign of Bitcoin, which means that there's at least 50 cryptos. There we go. There's 53 cryptos in the top 500 outperforming Bitcoin in the last 7 days, my friends. Now, this is significant. This is significant to watch. We need to be aware of this. Now, if you follow me, you'll know I always like to track ETF flow, exchange traded funds. This is the big money. These are the institutions. These are the people with tons of cash that have a big influence on the crypto market, and pay particular attention to this. This is BlackRock, the evil empire of crypto as far as retail is concerned. Now, they were skimming a little bit bullish. They are now sort of dropping, they're pulling money out. But I want you to put this into perspective here. So from the 2nd of January, we've got 3,000, 4,000, 2,500 there. And even the stuff they've taken out is nowhere close to what they actually put in this year so far. So even though the last 3 days of trading are negative, that generally there's a bullish momentum here. But this is not where it's happening, my friends, because we talk about Bitcoin. Now, what is an alt season? How do we know if an alt season is coming? Now, the thing is, we don't. And not only that, but institutions, they like to throw our attention in one direction whilst doing the opposite. So you can take everything with a pinch of salt. But these are the other exchange traded funds. These are the other altcoins, the big altcoins, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. So sometimes when we see that the institutions are moving money out of Bitcoin, are they putting them into alts? This is the first thing that we need to ask ourselves. So let's look at Ethereum. And it's a very similar pattern to Bitcoin. The last 3 days, they've been selling off Ethereum. But prior to that, there's been a bit of accumulation. So Ethereum doesn't really tell us very much what's going on there. So let's go to XRP. Now, XRP is a very different beast. Look, this is mainly green. In fact, in all of this, well, yes, we've got this one here, the XRP, Canary XRP, but this was last year. There was a sell-off there. But generally, apart from this little bit of red here, it's all green for XRP, which means that there's some big accumulation happening. Now, this is a big altcoin. Now, finally, I bring your attention to Solana. Now, to those of you that are new to crypto, Solana is the most used blockchain, bar none. There are more transactions go on Solana than every other, not just any other blockchain, but every other blockchain. This is the king of blockchains as far as transactions are concerned. And look, it's all green. No one ever sells Solana. No one ever. I want to bring this to your attention because you'll know if you're on this channel that I talk a lot about Solana. I think Solana is a solid project. The only question we're asking is the timing right? Is the timing right? Well, according to the institutions, it's never wrong, according to these charts, my friends. And this is information that you need to know, that the big people with the big money are buying Solana, and more importantly, they are not selling Solana. Not one sale of Solana there. Note this, my friends, note this. So now we go on to Grok. Now I've got a prompt here that I put in to assess accumulation patterns. What I've got it to do is assess the top 50 traders on X to work out whether they are accumulating, whether they're selling off, or what they're putting themselves into. Now, this is a prompt. It's certainly not. It's subject to change, and it's subject that it might not be completely accurate. But I've got it that the elite accumulations is what I'm looking for. So here, it's worth reading you this bit of the executive summary. The cryptocurrency market enters 2026 in a transitional phase marked by stabilization and early accumulation signals, particularly for majors like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Approximately 35% of scanned assets show accumulation characteristics. 35%, my friends, with stronger signals in top tier coins, e.g., Bitcoin drawdown reset, emerging rotation into alts and meme coins. Now, remember, for those of you that have been in the market, when the market popped the last time, the first thing to pop were meme coins. They hit strong and they hit hard, especially coins like PEPE took a massive upside. Now, just bear this in mind because this is looking to, it's looking very similar to the last time that the altcoins popped. But also bear in mind, there's enough people here that are calling this a bull trap. Now, what a bull trap is when the market flips bullish, people throw loads of money in and then they rinse them. There's a big sell-off and we go back into bear. So you have to be aware that this could be a bull trap setup. It could be an altcoin rally setup. Bear this in mind, my friends. But the elite accumulations, the top traders, the top 50 traders, these are the top 10 elite accumulations ranked by score. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. No surprise there. Bear in mind the ETF flow. No surprise there. The smart money is going into these four coins at the moment. Then we've got, look, two meme coins here. Three out of these next four. Doge, Pepe, Shiba Inu, all meme coins. These are elite accumulations going into meme coins, along with Sui, Cardano, and Aave, which are all fairly solid projects. So now for you degens, here's some more accumulation. This is the high risk zone. Let's just call this out before I even show this because I don't want anyone coming back. I lost loads of money. Yes, anyone, let's just point this out. Anyone that goes into degen coins expect to lose everything. Most people that went into degen coins are sitting on about a 90% loss now. So this is either, you can look at it one of two ways. It's either the best bargain basement of the century that you're getting now, or this is the ruins of a nuclear fallout and it's not looking to get any better. It depends how you want to look at it. But for you degens and high risk people, this is your day and these are your coins. So it's looking at the top 100, the top 100 to 500, and it's looking at volume. So let's just look at the key signals. So there's institutional inflows. We've looked at the top coins. We know that good things are happening here. We see that there's a volume uptrend on dips. So people are buying the dips on coins between 100 and 500. And for the real degen ones, that there's the high unverifiable metrics. So I'm not even going to comment on these because X is not picking up anything verifiable, but sort of higher lows. Now, notable low cap degen charts. Here's the degen chart for you degens out there. Let's look at them. Memes. Look, memes all the way down. PEPE, BONK, Floki, Degen, Mind, Useless, Amino, Cry, Eva, Yield. Well, look, you can go through those if you want. But these are all degen coins that are showing accumulation patterns. So I always get a little bit of degen content into my videos because I know I've got some degens out there. So this is, let me know your thoughts. Are any of these coins, are you going into them? Pepe certainly shown some interesting action, and it was first to go in the last cycle as well. So Pepe is a there's no such thing as a low risk or a low risk meme coin, a lower risk meme coin. Your bonks, your Pepes, your Flokies. These would be the lower risk, and possibly Shiba Inu as well. But anyway, there's methodology, there's flag risks. We could go into that. Let's look in ChatGPT now. I've asked it a simple question. What is the big crypto market? I put, it's meant to be news, but I put NES. It knows what I'm talking about. So let's look. We've looked at crypto ETFs. Regulation. Now, this is a big thing. The US Senate is gearing up for crypto regulation. We know that Trump's administration is crypto friendly until he, course talks about tariffs and tanks the market. But otherwise, they're setting up for a crypto friendly place. So we see that. Major US economic and legal events could impact crypto today. So traders are watching a Supreme Court tariff ruling or tariffs. Beware, my friends. We know that when tariffs gets mentioned, the market tanks. So this is a risk, and this is something that we need to be aware of. Okay. So I said, what news is generally going under the radar? Let's see what it says. It says, so global tax reporting news, especially here in the UK, we've gone all draconian on it. They've certainly upped the ante. We see that all of the stuff happening in Iran, the Revolutionary Guard, are using, look at this, 1 billion moved over two exchanges to skirt international sanctions. And look, they're using Tether on Tron. So you megalomaniac lunatics who need to leave the country, get your tether on Tron and you will bypass international laws. So this is the rogue side of crypto, of the use cases for people that are not necessarily the nicest people on the planet. So subtle shifts to altcoins, broader themes, strategy underreported. So big pieces of suggest long-term shifts towards stablecoins, tokenization, and institutional tools. We also see the SEC Project Crypto taxonomies might be nearing implementation. So there you go. Regulators are moving, and Morgan Stanley extends beyond Bitcoin ETFs. And look at this. Here we go. Multiple ETFs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, which we've looked at earlier, my friends. So institutional activity is intensifying. So while all this chaos is going on, the institutions are buying in and they're setting up. That's what you need to know, my friends. What you need to know. So why these matters aren't headlining. So it's boring. It's boring but important, and these things are happening in the background. Let's also ask perplexity. So I've asked them, quick snapshot, what's happening? So we see that XRP is gaining momentum. So the XRP army, we can see that things are setting up here well for XRP. Bitcoin's ETF we've looked at, exchange and product developments. So lots of liquidity offerings, notable regulatory and institutional signals. So there you go. I've asked the news that's going under the radar. Tax reporting. This, especially in the UK, is happening. The taxmen on each different country are taking it seriously now, especially UK. Look, they're now requiring exchanges to give full access. The UK government wants to see every single crypto coin, and they're making it law that you have to report it. They have to share this information. So it's under the radar. So there was another question I wanted to ask. So I asked Grok as well. who is buying and selling Bitcoin. Let's look at the key buyers. MicroStrategy, BlackRock, Tether, Binance, whales and institutions. So this is significant. People are accumulating. Key sellers. Now look at that. The key sellers are retail. That's you and me, people that are scared out of the market. This is the game, my friends. This is why so many people lose in crypto. They put all these signals out. There's fear in the market. We're tanking it. It's gone from 125,000 right down to 90. It's going to 30,000. We hear all of this nonsense. I mean, it might not be nonsense. It might go down to 30,000. Realistically, I can't see it going much below 70. But that's just me. It's just an opinion. And what do I know? I'm a lunatic. But anyway, you've got more news here, market outlook. But here was one bit of information that I picked up on one of the channels I watched. So there is a chap here, Byron Donalds. Now, this is very significant. He sits on the US subcommittee on digital assets and financial technology. And he's just bought £100,000 or dollars of Bitcoin. Now, this is big news. Somebody that's sitting on the committee in the US has just bought 100,000 in Bitcoin. Now, you can read into that what you want, but he obviously knows more than we do about what's coming in the US. And he's bought 100,000 of Bitcoin, my friends. He's bought the Bitcoin. So we need to be taking this sort of information very seriously. Why would he do it? He's in the know when we might not be. So, my friends, there's a little bit of news to let you know what AI thinks, where I think we're at in the market. But what do you think? Leave a comment, share, tell me what I should be looking at, tell me what we should be looking at, what information is out there that we don't yet know. But that is my little report. And if you've liked the content, then please do like and subscribe to the channel. If you want another little video of mine, you'll find that just there. But either way, stay lunatic, have fun, and make money with crypto.